Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Little River Medical Center.
Well, guys, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I'm once again with my friend Catherine from Little River Medical Center, and today we are in Aynor, South Carolina. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you, Katie.
It's a bit windy out here, but we've got a lot to chat about, specifically with the bus behind us.
Absolutely.
What is this bus here for?
Yeah, so this is one of our mobile medical units, Katie, and what this service offers is really bringing healthcare services right into our communities. So at Little River Medical Center, we provide not only primary care, but dental and behavioral health services across 6 sites located across Horry County. But our mobile medical unit is really able to go out into our communities and really bring services into the community in a convenient way if folks aren't able to come into our offices.
It's very convenient. So let's talk about some of those services that the bus provides.
Yeah, and so on the mobile medical unit, primarily we're doing primary care services.
Okay.
So we're not offering at this time our dental services on the unit itself, but it's armed with a nurse practitioner. We have a nurse on board as well as a customer service representative that'll really aid and help the patient move through or receiving the care that they need. And so on the bus, we're actually able to provide not only sick care visits, but wellness visits as well. So if you just really need that routine care, we're able to provide that. If you're looking for lab services, we can do that as well. Anything that you might have in a traditional office setting, you are most likely able to find it on our mobile unit.
So tell me a little bit more about how this bus travels around. Is it always in a different location, or how can people stay updated with it?
Sure. So on a weekly basis, we actually post on our Facebook page, usually on Sunday afternoons, where the bus is going to be located for the week. We have really good partnerships throughout the county where we'll have a rotating weekly schedule. We're at Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church. Today, we're at Palmetto Farms Country Store right here in Aynor, South Carolina. But we have other locations out at Green Sea Floyd's Library as well.
And this is really able to touch those communities that oftentimes have to travel great distances to go see a doctor. So who would be the right kind of patient to come by and see you guys?
Well, the great thing about our services and about Little River Medical Center is all of our community members are welcome to use our services. We accept insurance and we provide care to those without insurance. And so we can touch the lives of all our residents.
Are there any age restrictions?
No age restrictions.
That's awesome. How has the community responded to the bus?
A lot of times when we go out with our mobile unit into the community, it takes some time to build up the awareness that we're there and we're there on a regular basis. But we've seen great popularity with the mobile services because it's right there in your backyard most often, which makes it so convenient to not have to, hop in the car and drive 20 minutes down the road. We know folks have such busy lives and work schedules are really hectic. So to be able to pull up and wait in your car until your appointment is really a benefit to a lot of community members. And as we think about services that we continue to provide in the community, we've also heard that it's just a convenience factor. Being able to call and make an appointment while we are not in urgent care, so you do have to establish primary care with Little River Medical Center. Our team is really capable of helping you fill out all of those forms and really walking you through the process to get you in and seen.
I love it. All right, well, where can people learn more information about Little River Medical Center, become a patient, or find out where the bus is going to be?
The best information that our patients will find and our community members will be online at our website, www.lrmcenter.com, as well as our Facebook page. Be sure to check out our Facebook page weekly to stay up to date with where our mobile unit will be on that week.
This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Little River Medical Center.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor, so I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastasized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I'm joined in the studio with Charles from Long Bay Symphony. How are you doing?
Just fine, thanks.
Awesome. Okay, tell everybody a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm the music director of the Long Bay Symphony, which is this region's professional orchestra. And you know, it's funny because as much as we've been around, I think, gosh, it's, and now I can't remember exactly, it's our 36th, 37th season. They're going to kill me in the office for not remembering the exact year. But we've been around a while, but for a cultural institution, it's not that long. And since people are, you know, it's so transient, people are constantly moving into this area from primarily the Northeast or the Charlotte area or wherever. And it's amazing how, in spite of all we do, people don't know they have a professional symphony orchestra in town. So we do, of course, our traditional subscription concerts, classical things, and try to make that as varied as possible using, you know, ballet dancers and, you know, just as much variety as we can. But our biggest thrust over the past several years has been to do more diverse programming and more outreach. So we've done things like the New Year's Eve concert that we do and a gala, to, of course, Messiah performances in December. Also a Gullah to Gospel program involving a mass gospel choir in March. We've done patriotic war and peace concerts for the past several years over Veterans Day weekend. And so we're just out there in the community reaching all segments of the community, with a lot of those concerts being free, sponsored by the Chapin Foundation and other organizations. So that's kind of our mission, is to be out there and be a part of this community. And it's amazing, invariably after a concert, I'll have someone come up to me and say, "Oh, this was amazing. I had no idea we had a professional orchestra in this area." Which is sort of why I'm here today.
Yeah, we're spreading the word.
Yeah.
And these are talented musicians that deserve to, get some spotlight on them.
Our musicians basically play in orchestras throughout the region, in the South Carolina Philharmonic, Wilmington, Charleston, all of the general area, and they just travel. A lot of them are professors at universities or, So it's, you just go where the activity is.
I love it.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I think one of my favorite parts about this show is that we're able to highlight different artists across South Carolina, and that's why today I am in studio with Aisha Charles. Thank you so much for making the drive up here.
It was such an honor. I've been able to enjoy Myrtle Beach for a little bit, so it definitely was fun and grateful to be on here today.
Well, we are happy to have you and to talk a little bit more about what you do. You're a muralist.
Yes, I am.
How does one just become a muralist?
Well, I will say that it was definitely my community bleeding into me because I never thought I would join in being in this career field. I actually didn't get into paint until my senior year of high school.
Wow.
But I am self-taught. Like I used to create paint using like ground up leaves I would find in my backyard, berries for the color red and purple. Like my parents always couldn't afford things for me, but they always said don't let that stop you. So I just found things around me to create with. And over time, it was just my peers and my teachers saying, oh my God, you're really talented. Let's put her in position to actually do this when she graduates. And my principal, Dr. Smith, actually was the one who got me into murals for my first time. He said, hey, you're not old enough to put it up, but let's let you design the mural for the gym. So the mural that's in the gym at Westwood High School, I was the one who designed it before I graduated. It was like a graduation gift.
So I went to Blythewood, which is the opposing high school to Westwood. It's a very small world, and you have grown so much since then. How many murals would you say that you have painted over the last couple of years?
I would say probably over 120.
Oh my gosh.
And that's in and out of state.
That is crazy. Also because it's such a big project. What you're doing, right? Walk me through your process.
Usually when I get a mural, either someone calls me or they'll send me an email. Half the time I think it's spam. So I literally go on Zoom calls and reach out to them and ask, like, what are you looking for? What's your mission? Because I don't just create artwork that's pretty. It has to have a meaning behind it. So once we come up with everything, if I have to travel, they'll cover all expenses. I'll fly down there and I'll get work done. And the reason why I'm able to do so many is because I'm a quick artist. And it doesn't compromise how much of how pretty something is. Like everything still looks good. So
that is a skill in itself to be able to do something quickly, because I know how long it takes for me to just paint a wall in my house one solid color.
Yes.
To do what you do. How would you describe your art in a couple of words? Your style, if you will.
I would say that art was self-therapy for me as a kid. It was a way for bringing light in my own dark rooms. And now that I can create for everyone else, I just wanted to also be positive. So my mission statement is painting positive vibes on the canvas of life. So really just spreading joy one paint stroke at a time.
I love it. And we have a little bit more time, so before we go, tell me about some of the projects that you're going to be doing in the future where people can see your stuff.
Well, at the moment, I'm working in Orangeburg. We are trying to raise the voices of that community, so I'll actually be doing a giant mural downtown Orangeburg, and it's getting all the residents involved. I'm gonna have the kids come help me paint. Like, it's a big project. And at the moment, I am working on one for their skating rink, and we're doing indoor and outdoor, so it's gonna glow in the dark. Everybody's gonna love it. I just am really excited about everyone to see that. Work for the NFL. I've done work for Netflix. This few months ago, I did work for Paramount Pictures. My artwork's now at Bob Marley's estate. And I'll be painting the Grand Championship for Aja Wilson and Don Staley. And they're going to actually present the art piece to them. So
that is so cool.
Yeah,
I
always
can't even handle
something.
it. Well, you are just awesome.
Thank
and
you.
Good for you too.
Thank you.
That is
I just
so
want to
cool.
represent my state the best I can, because if it wasn't for South Carolina, I wouldn't be here. So.
Well, that is so fun. Do you have a website?
I have an Instagram that people can
Perfect.
reach me for everything that they might need, and it's Ija_Monet, IJA_MONET.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.